Shai. Double honors and much respects to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. May Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai's peace be bestowed unto you, hopefully elect. I'm your brother Yahweh Call from Great Millstone, Orlando. Getting right into the topic of don't get caught or don't sleep at the low tide. All right. Something that I've been observing as lately. I've been going to the beach, just to get some me time, find some peace, rejuvenate, whatever the case may be. Just me, Yahweh Shai, just talk to the Lord, meditate, and things of that nature. Going to the beach, man, it's a very peaceful setting. And like I said, just one of those things that I observe. Dealing with the beach, going to the beach, and dealing with that low tide, which obviously, because a lot of times I see people sleeping on the beach and whatnot, but you hear these accounts where people get caught at the low tide. They get caught slipping oftentimes, because it also reminds me of how when there's a tsunami getting ready to come, before the tsunami comes, the water recedes. So with both those comparisons, because eventually, as is commanded in the scriptures, where the waters, the oceans, right? Because the waters can easily overflood the earth, right? But there's a certain commandment that they don't descend into the earth. There's a certain command they don't flood the earth, right? But nevertheless, as that water recedes, it does come back on shore. And on a much more grand scale of things, like I mentioned with the tsunami, one of the signs that there's a tsunami getting ready to take place is the water that water recedes, that water recension, right? So, like I said, just using both those comparisons. In regards to prophecy, all right, being that the prophecies, how they come in waves, right? And oftentimes people get caught at that low tide. They get caught sleeping at that low tide until those waters come rushing back up on shore, right? So being that we're in one of those cycles where, hey, it's low tide right now, to an extent, because things are still happening. But over the past few weeks, with the whole tension, so-called Middle East tension, when Iran and Israel started going at it, America ended up getting involved, right? It was a hot topic for a quick second. I seen all type of posts, basically people being scared of World War III and this and that. And as I've been saying, because in regards to these people, they should be scared. They're supposed to be terrified, right? Because when things are happening, all of a sudden, everyone wants to be a prophet, right? All of a sudden, everyone wants to speak on these things like they've been speaking about it, like they know what the hell they're talking about, right? But as things appear to die down, hey, people just go back to normal, like nothing ever happened, right? So with that being said, like I said, not to sleep at the low tide, because it can be discouraging to those of us, all right, to the believers. It happens. It happens. We all get that feeling like we things are happening. We get a little excited, and that's something that I've been trying to do better as far as my self-examination, what I need to do, distinguishing the difference between being excited and being in the spirit. So, like I said, things will be happening, prophecies be taking place. things will be popping 1 second, and then the next minute things are die down a little bit, and it can get disencouraging. It can be very disenchanting to the point where how about Shemel Shah, he'll use that as a sifter, and they just say fuck it. Jake just ends up saying the hell with it. And this is something that's been going on in the past, all right, throughout the different generations, all right. As far as the second coming of Yahweh Shai, because the Lord didn't come back when Jake didn't. Well, Jake wanted the Lord to come back. A lot of times, Jake in the past, man, they just said fuck it. You know, this thing of ours is very, like I said, disenchanting. It can get disencouraging sometimes. That's why we have to pray Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai to give us strength, because falling out is easy. In fact, it's tempting. Right? Here it is. You got this guy, Alazar, right? Self-proclaimed chief priest, right? Just did a video on him. Talking about, you know, he's basically no longer affiliated with the Hebrew Israelite movement, which this thing of ours is not a movement. And you see, that's the problem. That's why the scriptures tell us to not forget our first love. All right. Jake treats this thing like a fad, like a trend. This is the new best thing that's popping. Until the Lord turns the heat up and he shows you what this is really about, until the suffering starts to kick in. Right? So this is why we see Jake fall out the truth all the time. You know, this guy talking about, again, he's no longer affiliated with this so-called movement. Right? There's a new me, right? New improved, right? A new path. Like bitches say, every goddamn so-called new year, right? New me bullshit, right? Because if Jake loses faith, they lose hope, they lose patience. Which if you fall out, you didn't have faith in the first place. And it's only a matter of time before the Spirit spews you out. It's only a matter of time before you get revealed. You know, so you know, just another case, man. Like I said, one of many examples. Because Jake gets disenchanted. It happens all the time. All right. So, you know, just reminded me here in the book of Malachi. I'm gonna jump through a few chapters. It's only 4 chapters, but I'm gonna start here in Malachi chapter 1. Malachi 1. In verse 12, but ye have profaned it, in that ye say, the table of Yahweh is polluted, and the fruit thereof, even his meat, is contemptible. Ye said also, behold, what a weariness is it, and ye have snuffed at it, saith the Lord of hosts. And ye brought that which was torn, and the lame and the sick, thus ye brought an offering. Should I accept this of your hand, saith the Lord? But cursed be the deceiver, which hath his flock a male, and voweth and sacrifices unto the Lord a corrupt thing. For I am a great king, saith the Lord of hosts, and my name is dreadful among the heathen. But again, man, Jake just got to a point. Jake said, "Fuck it, you know. What's even the point?" That's pretty much Jake's attitude. That was Jake's attitude. Because what we see today, like I said, as far as Jake just saying fuck it, Jake giving up, Jake just losing interest. You know, it was the same thing. Because, you know, in this book, man, Malachi, as well as other accounts, man, Jake is just questioning the Lord. Like, what's the point of even serving the Lord? What's the point, right? That's what I'm going to jump to, I believe it's chapter 2. And I just did this off the fly, so bear with me. Just getting out this gym. Bear with me. I believe it's Malachi 2. Malachi 2. Or might be Malachi 3. Yeah, Malachi 2, I'm going to jump down to verse 16. It says, "For the Lord, the power of Israel, saith that he hateth, putteth away." Slaki, for the Lord, the power of Israel, saith that he hateth putting away. For one covereth violence with his garment. Saith the Lord of hosts, therefore take heed to your spirit, that ye deal not treacherously. Ye have wearied the Lord with your words. Yet ye say, wherein have we wearied him? When ye say, everyone that doeth evil is good in the sight of the Lord, and he delighteth in them, where is the power of judgment? So again, Jake questioning the Lord. Because again, throughout the different times in history, in different generations, Jake was anticipating the second turn. They wanted Yahushua to come back. And the fact that Yahushua didn't come back when Jake wanted them to, Jake just, they questioned the Lord. Jake got disenchanted. They got caught at that low tide. Jake just said, fuck it. You know, I'm going to jump to Malachi 3. So like I said, in this book in particular, there's a lot of questioning, you know, questioning how much Shai. Is the Lord really going to return? And we see that today. And like I said, it happens to us sometimes. Like, damn, are we really going to see is Yahushua really going to come in our lifetime? You know what? We get those thoughts. Let's be honest. So I'm going to jump to Malachi 3. Malachi 3. I'm going to go to 13. Your words have been stout against me, said the Lord. Yet ye say, what have we spoken so much against thee? Ye have said, it is vain to serve God. And what profit is it that we have kept his ordinance, and that we have walked mournfully before the Lord of hosts? And now we call the proud happy, yea, they that work wickedness are set up, yea, they that tempt God are even delivered. So again, we're walking around here, we're trying to serve Yahweh Shemashah to the best of our ability. But here it is, we're suffering and catching hell. And here it is, these niggas and niggerettes out here every day who don't give two shits about our power. They don't give two shits about Yahweh Shemashah, but yet, you know, the appearance of them prospering, it's discouraging. And that's a part of our vexation, right? That's a part of the $1 million question. How long? Because goddamn, right? So, as I say, and to balance it out, because Lord willing, as judges, seeing and understanding both sides, we get it. We get why Jake falls out, but that's not to say that it's justified. All right, we understand why Jake is just crashing out. It's not to justify it though. We get it. We understand. Like I said, we get those thoughts sometimes, but hey, the scriptures go into how the rumor that should be heard 1 year in, 1 year out, right? Rumor upon rumor, right? But eventually, one day, all of a sudden, that's another thing that is emphasized throughout the scriptures: sudden destruction. One day, things is going to pop. It's going to be that one thing that's going to cause the final domino effect. That one thing. So it is a thing of just being a little more patient. So I believe that was it on that. Yeah, that was it on that. Because like I read, it is vain to serve the Lord. Because there's no tangible reward. There's no right away reward. All right. It's not like McDonald's where you can just have you're hungry. You could just go to McDonald's or fast food and satisfy your hunger. What's good for you takes time, right? And that's just cooking food, right? Real food, delicious food at that. It takes time, preparation. It takes patience. You see, so that's why I like the scripture say, and your patience possess your souls, our souls. All right. So we just gotta wait a little longer, man. We just gotta wait a little longer. Our hope is not going to be. Our hope is not going to continue to be deferred. So eventually, all right, it's going to be that one thing that's going to really cause that domino effect, that snowball effect. You know, we just got to hold on a little longer. So don't get caught in that low tide. All right, don't get caught sleeping at the low tide. They're going to be swept away when the waters come rushing in. You're going to get swept away because the flood is coming. All right, the flood is coming. That flood is coming. All right. How about Hashem Yahushua is getting ready to release the gates of hell, man. He's getting ready to pour out the floodgates of hell. So, like I said, one of the signs of a tsunami is getting ready to take place. Hey, those waters recede. All right. Those waters recede. And that be that time. It's like to say the calm before the storm. It's the same concept. All right, so like I said, the fact that these prophecies, they come in waves, all right, and in those cycles where it's low tide, they don't get caught sleeping, man. Don't get caught sleeping at the tide, because when the floods come rushing in, hey, you don't want to be one of those that gets caught up, got disenchanted, disencouraged. You don't want to do this no more. Fuck it, I'm gonna go back into the world. What profit is it to serve the Lord? You know, that's not the attitude to be in. And of course, it's easier said than done. But again, that's why we have to pray Yahweh Shema to give us strength, man. Because hey, like I said, staying in this truth is being in this truth is hard. Being in this truth is hard, man. Giving up is easy. Giving up is easy, man. You know, so I'm gonna go ahead and close it out here, man. You know, these bug outs are starting to come on the comment board. So Lord, one of this is edifying. Giving all praise to you, how about Shema Shai, Shalom to you, hopefully, like.